Good morning for our viewers in the West. Two big stories as we come on the air. The Democratic National Convention about to get underway and a flash flooding emergency overnight. Catastrophic threat. Severe weather slamming the East Coast overnight. Roads submerged in Connecticut. Drivers rescued. This house swept away by high waves in North Carolina.
Oh my God!
Now, millions on alert for life-threatening flash flooding as hundreds of flights are canceled and rip current threats close beaches. Ginger tracking it all.
The Democratic National Convention just hours away, with President Biden set to take the stage in Chicago, as VP Kamala Harris and Governor Walz get ready for their big moment.
We know what strength looks like. That's what strength looks like.
Protesters already gathered outside the convention hall. This morning, what our new poll shows about Harris's momentum and the challenges and opportunities for former President Trump. We have full team coverage on the ground in Chicago.
Disgraced former Congressman George Santos expected to plead guilty just hours from now. What we know this morning.
Blindsided. Former NFL star Michael Oher opening up for the first time since filing the Blindside lawsuit. Why he says the book and movie may have hurt his career, and what he's saying about the family who took him in.
Caught on camera. Two children saved from alleged abduction attempts. How quick-thinking Good Samaritans jumped into action.
I literally pulled them out of the car and just held them against his car until police got here.
We hear from them this morning.
On fire. These terrifying pictures of a Ferris wheel in flames at a packed music festival. The investigation into what went wrong.
Late summer escape. The last-minute relief from the dog days of summer. How you can still score affordable getaways on a budget. And the expert tips on when to book for every holiday.
And the trick play that has the NFL talking.
Mahomes keeps it, goes behind the back. Kelsey's got it for the first down.
What Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are saying about their smooth moves.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. We have a lot of news to get to, including the severe weather with flash flooding for millions. Ginger is tracking that for us.
But first, the Democratic National Convention getting underway. There is the hall in Chicago with President Biden taking the stage to make the keynote address tonight.
Vice President Kamala Harris arrived in Chicago last night after a week of campaigning with Governor Walz. This morning, we have team coverage. I want to start with Rachel Scott on the scene in Chicago. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And this is hardly the convention that Democrats envisioned months ago. But this morning, more than 50,000 people, 5,000 delegates, and some of the biggest names in the party's politics are descending here on Chicago to rally behind the new candidate in this race, Vice President Kamala Harris. Her challenge this week, laying out her own vision and putting her own stamp on this convention.
Overnight, Vice President Kamala Harris touching down in Chicago, kicking off the Democratic National Convention with a narrow lead over Donald Trump.
Through these next 79 days, we will continue to build community, build coalitions, and remind each other we are all in this together.
Harris and her new running mate, Governor Tim Walz, hitting the road on their new campaign bus, barnstorming battleground Pennsylvania. Harris trying to fend off attacks from Trump, who has called her a lunatic and questioned her racial identity.
Real and true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what we see as strength. We know what strength looks like. That's what strength looks like. Anybody who's about beating down other people is a coward.
It's a message Harris is hoping to lean into this week. The theme of the convention, for the people, for the future, with speeches expected from Barack and Michelle Obama, as well as Bill and Hillary Clinton. But today, President Biden will give the primetime address, a handoff to his own vice president just weeks after he dropped out of the race. Since then, the dynamics in this race have shifted. Harris gaining momentum.
I very much consider us the underdog. We have a lot of work to do to earn the vote of the American people.
Trump's running mate Ohio Senator J.D. Vance dismissing it all as a honeymoon period.
Kamala Harris got a bit of a sugar high a couple of weeks ago.
Trump has struggled to adjust to the new Democratic ticket. Even some of his closest allies practically begging him to stay on message.
His policies are good for America, and if you have a policy debate for president, he wins. Donald Trump, the the provocateur, the showman, may not win this election.
But the former president is having a hard time sticking to the issues, veering into personal insults this weekend, claiming he's a, quote, better-looking person than her.
They said, no, her biggest advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, huh. I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is.
Donald Trump and Senator J.D. Vance will be hitting the campaign trail every single day this week, really trying to counter-program the Democratic National Convention. And back here in Chicago, officials are bracing for large demonstrations, including protests to the Biden administration's response to the Israel-Hamas war. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris has created some distance from President Biden on this issue. Her rhetoric has been very forceful when talking about the rising death toll in Gaza, but there's been no change on policy, Will.
Rachel Scott in Chicago for us. Rachel, thank you. And there will be heightened security at the DNC as tens of thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters are expected to demonstrate in Chicago this week. There's a massive march planned for today, and Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is in Chicago with those details. Matt, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, and the city of Chicago will face its first major test that you mentioned in just a couple of hours when tens of thousands of those protesters will be marching just on the other side of the United Center here. You can see the hardened vehicle checkpoint over here, and those protesters will be met by officers on bicycles like these. Yesterday, at the first major march of the DNC, we saw hundreds of those bicycle cops forming this rolling barricade along the protesters, basically penning them in. And the police chief who was there telling me that this is a system that has worked for them. He says he doesn't expect violence. Thousands of his officers have undergone de-escalation and civil unrest training. There will be 34 major actions planned for this week, most of them focused on Gaza. And a federal official tells me that the stakes could not be higher. 50,000 convention goers, including a current and former president, most of the cabinet, celebrities, means that Chicago faces likely its highest threat profile event in about a generation. George.
Hey, Matt, thanks. Let's go back to the convention floor with our political director, Washington Bureau Chief Rick Klein. Rick, some new polls show just how much this race has changed.
Yeah, good morning, George. You know, Donald Trump went into and out of his convention with a distinct advantage in the polling. That has been turned around and erased in the week since Kamala Harris got in the race. Our latest polling with Ipsos and the Washington Post shows Vice President Harris with a 5-point edge over Donald Trump nationally, a similar edge in the battleground states as she has made up real ground among independent voters. And in the battleground states, some new polling from the New York Times and Siena College tells you the tale of how Harris has surged. Still a very close race, down just 2 points in Nevada. The Sun Belt been very friendly to her so far. North Carolina, a 3-point edge for Kamala Harris. Arizona, a 4-point edge. That's notable, George, because this same polling had had Biden down by 9 points back when he was in the race against Trump a couple of months ago, George.
Economy still top of mind?
Yeah, and look, these issues are so important because you see a real split in terms of the perceptions of these candidates. You still see an edge for Harris on some of the issues that are maybe a little less relevant for voters, according to the polling. Abortion, only 59% of voters say that's a key issue. Harris has an advantage there, similar with health care. The economy, though, that's an issue that almost 9 in 10 voters say is important to their vote. Trump is +9 in trust to handle that issue. Crime and safety, Trump +3. Immigration and the border, Trump +10. So Harris hasn't talked a lot about issues so far. That's going to change this week. And a lot of this is about rebranding herself and resetting the race in terms of how voters are perceiving on these issues. Because right now, this is an area when you're talking about the issues, advantage Donald Trump, George.
Okay, Rick, thanks. Let's bring in our Chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, our Chief Washington correspondent, Jon Karl. Mary, you got caught up in all those storms yesterday, but let's talk about the speech tonight with President Biden. Going to be a bittersweet moment for him, but he'll get a lot of love in that hall.
He will. And bittersweet is exactly the right word for this. I mean, imagine just a month ago, Joe Biden thought this was going to be his convention. And now instead tonight, he's going to walk out on that stage and pass the torch to Kamala Harris. He will tout the accomplishments that he and Harris have achieved together, make clear he thinks she is the future of the party. And of course, he has been praised for his decision to bow out of the race and endorse Harris, even though the party didn't exactly give him a whole lot of choice in the matter. So this is going to be an emotional moment for him, also a chance for him to cement his legacy. This is likely the largest audience he's going to have as his now 50-plus year career in politics, begins to wind down. And the challenge then for Harris is to take that baton, run on her record with Biden, but also make clear what she would do differently and make this her own.
And John, you and I have been covering politics for a long time. It's really hard to think of a more consequential summer in American politics. You go back to that debate less than 2 months ago, June 27th.
I mean, we have an entirely different race than we had a month ago. This is a transformed election. This convention is entirely transformed. I mean, a month ago, they had to rip up a script they had effectively been working on, really, George, starting to work on this convention 2 years ago. Now you have Kamala Harris, who was a vice president standing in the shadows of an unpopular president, now suddenly the undisputed leader of a newly energized Democratic Party. And George, what I would look for here is Harris, as Mary suggested, to subtly but clearly distance herself from Joe Biden, and interestingly, also from herself and from the positions she took when she ran in an ill-fated campaign 4 years ago for the Democratic nomination as somebody at the far left of the party. Now she is a transformational figure, or wants to be one, who can appeal to the left of her party, the center of her party, and also to disaffected Republicans unhappy with Donald Trump.
Meantime, John, former President Trump seems to be disoriented by the change. His team keeps saying focus on the issues. He keeps focusing on Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and he really has been thrown off his game. You've heard him complain privately and publicly about the fact that Biden was swapped out. They were prepared to run against Biden. Republicans have a clear strategy. That is, focus on the issues. As you heard Rick say, you have Republicans. Trump has an advantage on crime, on the border, on the economy, but he is not focusing on the issues. His is all about attack, attack, attack. Personally attack and attack some more.
Okay, John, thanks very much. We're going to, of course, have team coverage of the Democratic National Convention all week long. Begins tonight, streaming on ABC News Live at 7 Eastern, then here on the network at 10. Robin?
All right, George, and now to the severe storms overnight causing flash flooding in parts of the Northeast, with roads submerged, drivers rescued. Trevor Ault is on the scene for us there in Connecticut. Good morning to you, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. So this was some extreme flooding here. I mean, take a look at the damage left behind this morning. Behind me, you see a huge section of the road that was ripped away in these floods. We have this gas line that's exposed as so much of this road caved in. In fact, look behind me there in the trees. You see that? That's the hot tub from the house across the street that was brought over here by these powerful floods. We saw scenes like this play out all across Connecticut. At times, hundreds of vehicles and people who were stranded in the floods.
Overnight flash floods sweeping across the Northeast. These roads in Connecticut looking more like rivers, with more than a foot of rain falling in parts of the state. Raging waters roaring past homes, sweeping away some cars.
There's a lot of washed out roadways. A lot of trees are falling. The soil's very loose and obviously wet.
In Oxford, rushing water surrounding a restaurant where several people took shelter.
It's all gone. The fence got wrecked. This is the worst I think I've ever seen.
At least 2 people missing overnight after they were swept away by the current, and more than 40 people were stranded at a campground after a bridge was washed out, cutting off their escape route. Rescuers rushing to save dozens of drivers trapped in the flooding. Watch as people come to the aid of a man and his dog after his car was stuck in the water. Meantime, powerful rain and flooding is also inundating New Jersey and New York, swallowing several cars, including this police SUV. The coastal flooding wreaking havoc on communities all along the eastern seaboard.
Oh my God!
In the Outer Banks of North Carolina, this home dragged off its foundation and into the ocean.
Now, of course, we do know that here in Connecticut, there were some areas that got more than a foot of rain in just a few hours. And now there's a chance of more storms happening today with the severe weather moving further into the Northeast. There are some emergency crews that are out here so far this morning. But as you might imagine, this is not an easy cleanup.
Oh,
Robin?
No. Thinking of all that have been impacted, Trevor. Thank you. And of course, the weather wreaking havoc on air travel all across the country. This is a live look at Newark Airport. You can see it is already extremely busy because more than 8,000 flights were delayed, 1,300 canceled on Sunday, and we're already seeing hundreds more this morning as more dangerous weather takes aim. Ginger, I know you have the latest forecast for us.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is Ernesto was separate, right? Like that was all the rip currents and the beach erosion, but this was just a front that was sat around too long. And that stationary front then had training thunderstorms on it. And there was a flash flood emergency just hours ago, even in Suffolk County, New York, on Long Island there. And so we've got pictures. This is just west of it in Northport. But look at this, Terryville, or the area there near Port Jeff. more than 10 inches, and widespread we had 2 to 4 inches, which is nothing to sneeze at. But up there in Connecticut, and that's the region, you can see it's north of New Haven, kind of southwest of Hartford. That's where you had 12 to even radar estimates of close to 15 inches of rain falling in just like 3 or 4 hours. So that's why you saw that flash flooding. The risk is still high, especially in parts of the Green and White Mountains down into Hartford again today. So Connecticut, beware. Worcester, Massachusetts, also in that elevated risk. There is the storm right now. That's Ernesto, totally separate, right? And it strengthened after it went through Bermuda. The waters there are some 10 to 15 degrees above normal in the North Atlantic. So it's going to keep going out, but we'll still have rip current risk. Some beaches closed today.
We're going to go overseas now to the war in Ukraine, with Ukrainian forces gaining more ground in Russia. Ian Pannell is live in Ukraine with the latest for us. Good morning to you, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. We're actually in Sumy. This is a frontline border province where Ukraine's audacious operation into Russia began. And you can see some of the damage here. There was a massive Russian missile strike here on Saturday. There is mangled, charred metal all around me, and the air's still thick with the stench from that attack. Overnight, interestingly, Ukraine attacking the last remaining bridge over a key Russian river, effectively trapping what's thought to be hundreds more Russian troops. This morning, the Ukrainians releasing this dramatic video they say is special forces on the ground in close combat against the Russians. And we've just met a group of Russian soldiers who've been taken prisoner, and a number of things stand out here. Firstly, it's astonishing how young they all are. Almost all of them are conscripts, around 80% or so. They told us they were stunned by the Ukrainian offensive and that their commanders, incredibly, left them when it began. But Russia is resisting and advancing dangerously in the east of the country. Meanwhile, President Zelensky is calling on America and others to deliver agreed military supplies much faster, saying we strongly ask for them. There are no vacations in war. 2 weeks into this offensive, guys, it feels like a potentially make or break moment for Ukraine. Well,
a crucial period in the region. Ian Pannell for us in Ukraine. Ian, thank you.